Welcome to CSZNet's podcast series. I'm your host, Jimmy, and today we're exploring the use of AI videos to modernize and improve the government procurement process. Joining me is Alina. Great to have you with us, Alina. Tell us about your job with CSZNet.
Thanks, Jimmy. CSZNet is a small company, so I wear multiple hats. One of my responsibilities is to monitor and review government bidding opportunities. We have been awarded several government procurement vehicles. Every day, I evaluate all new bidding opportunities.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is, and it can be time-consuming. I spend a lot of time assessing bids and culling out any that aren't best-fit opportunities. Responding to bids requires a lot of effort. As a small business, we have to be selective about which opportunities we pursue. Unfortunately, the information I need to make a bid, no bid decision, is often buried within scattered documents.
Is there anything the government can do to make it easier for small businesses to glean the information needed when evaluating bids?
We think so. Let's take a look at a single federal contracting vehicle, STARS 3.
What is STARS 3?
It is an IT contracting vehicle awarded to select small 8A businesses. There are 1,100 contract holders. More than 50 bids and market research requests are published every month.
Wow! With 1,100 contract holders each evaluating 50 bids, that's 55,000 individual bid assessments every month. How do you decide which bid opportunities to pursue?
First, I maintain a bid log. I use Excel and create a separate tab for each contracting vehicle we monitor. Every day, I look at the eBuy site and record any new STARS 3 bids on my log. I've set it up so opportunities automatically gray out after their due date. Next, I evaluate each new opportunity against a series of factors to make a bid or no bid decision.
What are the bid-no bid decision factors for CSZNet?
There are a number of questions we must answer, beginning with, what is the nature of the work? What is included in the SOW? Is this a set-aside contract, and if so, for what groups? Is there an incumbent contractor? Are security clearances required, such as secret or top-secret facility clearance? Does it require any certifications, such as CMMI Level 3? How much effort will the response require? When is the proposal due? Are there any subcontracting requirements? What are the required contract deliverables?
It sounds like you are looking for very specific information. How do you find answers to all your questions?
That's the time-consuming part. Typically, I must download multiple documents and then weed through potentially hundreds of pages to get the answers I need to decide whether to pursue the opportunity. Here are the documents associated with one recent bid on eBuy.
That is a lot of work just to decide whether to pursue an opportunity. Can you estimate the monthly cost to small business?
Start by multiplying my effort times 1,100 for each of the other STARS 3 contract holders. Let's assume it takes 15 minutes per assessment on average. That works out to almost 14,000 hours of effort per month, which probably translates to about $1 million in cost per month. Just do an initial screening of bids.
Yes, that is a big cost. And STARS 3 is only one of many contract vehicles at the federal level, not to mention all the state and local contracting vehicles out there.
Now, imagine the savings to small businesses if we could reduce this time investment by half or more.
That would be huge. But how would you do it?
By inserting CSZNet AI Studio services into the government procurement workflow, new bid opportunities could be accompanied by a summary video. Here's an example using an actual STARS 3 RFP. This bid is for software development services.
Hello, this is Contracting Officer Robert Smith bringing you a STARS 3 bidding opportunity. This requirement is to provide technical services for software development support and business solutions. Technical services include enterprise architecture, requirements management, software engineering, systems engineering, software test management, and system server administration. Contractors will work as part of a team to develop new software applications or modify and sustain existing applications. The issuing agency, as the Secretary of the Air Force, Administrative Assistant, Information Management, Enterprise Business Solutions Division. This bid was released on November 7, 2024, and is due on December 6, 2024. This is a request for proposal. It is a set-aside for 8A. companies. It is a fixed-price contract with a single monthly price. The place of performance is Andrews Air Force Base, the Pentagon, and telework. The period of performance is January 31st, 2025 through January 30th, 2026, with 4.5 option year extensions. There is an incumbent, U.S. Max Corporation. It should be noted that a bidder's transition in plan is required as part of the proposal. The contractor must have secret facility clearance. There are no special contractor certifications required. This RFP is an IT staffing engagement for 7 FTEs across the 4 labor categories shown. Minimum requirements, preferred qualifications, and required security level are shown for each labor category. 7 deliverables are required. Please note that a transition out plan is required, but no transition in plan. As you may recall, the transition in plan is required as part of your proposal. The proposal must include 3 volumes: the technical approach, past performance, and pricing. Volume 1, technical approach, has a 25-page limit. Resumes for all 7 personnel are to be included in Volume 1, but do not count against the 25-page limit. The proposal must address how the bidder intends to meet these requirements. It must demonstrate an understanding, approach, and methodology to complete tasks in accordance with the PWS. Include a listing of up to 5 comparable efforts undertaken in the last 3 years. A minimum of 2 must have been completed by the proposed prime contractor. Each must include contact information for the project lead. Demonstrate a plan to monitor its employees at their facility, including subcontractors, to continuously meet the government's requirements as outlined in the PWS. The bidder's proposal should demonstrate a sound management plan and discuss their established procedures/processes to manage employees and complete all required tasks in accordance with PWS requirements. The bidder shall demonstrate the process for safeguarding all data and documents pertaining to this task order while performing the work at their facility. Provide a cross-reference matrix that assigns proposed labor categories and FTEs, IAW the PWS task areas, along with completing the attachment 5 PECP worksheet. The bidder will also provide in its plan all personnel resources and skill sets to fulfill the full scope of the PWS requirements through a matrix table or chart that clearly identifies the proposed staff, qualifications, and skill sets, as well as any certifications, if applicable, of the proposed personnel. Provide a transition plan to meet with the current contractor for a smooth transition that provides continuity of current support and any pending actions to facilitate a smooth transition and a lower risk for mission failure during transition phases. The bidder shall provide the FTEs and labor categories that it is proposing to meet the full requirement of the PWS. Volume 1 must include a completed Form DD 254 identifying the prime and all subcontractors. Volume 2 past performance must include previous or current requirements that are similar and fall within the scope of this requirement. A minimum of 2 examples and a maximum of 5 examples of past performance within the past 5 years are required. Data required for each past performance example is defined in Section 4.2.2.1. The government reserves the right to independently verify the quality of the work performed using any means at its disposal. Volume 3 pricing shall include a completed Attachment 4 and the SF 1449 with summary pricing. It shall include a compensation plan for professional employees. The plan must include unburdened salaries and a breakdown of fringe benefits. A mapping of proposed labor categories to STAR's 3 labor categories is required. All first-tier subcontractors must also include their professional employee compensation plans.
That was a lot of information. So you are suggesting that if a video like that could be produced for every bidding opportunity, STAR's 3 contract holders would save a lot of time.
Precisely. The first scene, the project synopsis, was only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. Most potential bidders can determine whether they are eligible to bid from this information alone. Those that determine they are not eligible just saved a huge amount of time. Those that are still qualified can then watch the next 3.5 minutes to assess the level of effort to respond. They can then make a preliminary bid or no-bid decision.
Wow, what a time saver! Most no-bid decisions can be made in less than 1.5 minutes, as opposed to 15 minutes or more. I see real value here. So tell me, Alina, does CSZNet offer other procurement-related services?
Yes, we do, Jimmy. For example, our AI Studio services can deliver video content for procurement training. How to write better RFPs, how to define high-quality requirements, and how to use STARS 3 for market research and competitive bids are just 3 examples. Our AI Studio services can also enhance agency communication. Video memoranda and video newsletters can supplement or replace traditional written communiques. Do you host bidders' conferences? If so, much of the repetitious content may best presented in a reusable video format. Finally, while not necessarily a video service, CSZNet can enhance your RFP documents and materials prior to distribution to make it easier for recipients to digest and use the information provided. Using tools and techniques we've developed internally, we can save time and effort for prospective bidders.
Any final words before we put a bow on this, Alina?
Just one more thing, Jimmy. We have focused on what procurement offices can do to help small business, but there are also ways businesses can incorporate video into their proposals to facilitate the evaluation process. Consider a video-based executive summary, for example.
That's a great idea.
Please don't hesitate to contact us. We'd be happy to discuss your procurement needs and what we can do for you.
Thank you for sharing your insights, Alina. And thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode of our AI Studio Services podcast series.